You are looking for how to start a trailer concession stand business. Really awesome search. I can help you out with this. My name is Brando Linick, and this is going to be a video review based on the principles of the business, having gotten around people who have done it, who have been very successful, people who've done it who haven't been that successful, the differences between the two, and just really fundamentally what you need to know. Like I said, not necessarily talking about the how-to, talking more about the principles behind what actually govern the business to get you the income to create the results that you want, all right? And I'll also share with you and touch base on some of my experiences with this in general. So you want to pay close attention. This can save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and it's important you know so you can make an educated decision by the end of this video if this is really the right business for you. But when it comes to a concession stand trailer, all right, the business, it's fairly simple to start. I've seen people start it for anywhere from $10,000 up to and over $15,000 to start. So not a hefty overhead, but you got an overhead there, all right? Now, when it comes to it, depending on if you're doing cotton candy, popcorn, frozen lemonade, donuts, all right, depending on what niche and what you're going to be tackling, all right, dealing with festivals, flea markets, dealing with, events that happen in your city, not everything's happening every single day. So you got to keep that in mind. When there's festivals that come and go, yes, you're going to make quite a bit of money. It's going to be very popular, all right, for you to, get business to you, okay? But when those things go out every other day of the week, okay, every other day of the year, you got 365 days in the year, and not every single day there's going to be a festival or an event happening in your city, and it's going to be tough. This is one of the problems I've seen with people, is it's tough to have consistent, reliable business. Not saying that it's impossible, but it's tough to find something that's consistent and reliable due to weather permitting as well. You got to keep in mind, if it's raining, if it's cold out, if it's windy, the chances of you having a lot of people and a lot of business come in, it's going to be a little bit more slim. And these are just things you need to be aware of when it comes to the business model from a business perspective of looking at this to build a business, to create an income, to create your lifestyle, whether that's to travel more, spend more time with your family, retire your wife or retire your husband from corporate America, all right? Because if that is really what you're looking for, in a sense, you can get one going and then you can start going to festivals, keep track of what's going on in your city, all right? Build relationships with event coordinators, all right? And you can get one going that way, all right? Just building relationships with people, reaching out to them on LinkedIn. But I'll tell you, before you take that on, dealing with the weather, if it's raining and then business can stop, dealing with not so promising, consistent, reliable daily income from it, all right? Because not every day there's a festival or an event. Because of that, even though there can be foot traffic some days, but you got to keep in mind weather permitting, right? If you're looking at this to create a consistent, reliable business and income for yourself, to be your own boss, if that's really what you're looking for, even though in a sense that's how you can start it, before you head down that path, if you're only looking at it to build a business, to build an income, then I've got a lead I want to throw your way. And my story with this goes back about a year ago. And if you hear me out here for 1 minute, last year in September of 2014, at the time of shooting this video, I think that's the right date, like 15 months ago, I came across a person who was building a business, and they're doing so on the internet from home. Now, I'm not going to tell you that the internet is the only way to go to build a business, but they're using the internet to do a lot of the heavy lifting for them, where they weren't dealing with supplies, equipment, employees, they weren't dealing with weather permitting, all right? And because they weren't dealing with those obstacles, all right, and they weren't dealing with those things just in general, I started to model and copy them. They're making a high multiple six-figure income. Their business was built on digital products and digital services that they didn't even have to create, all right? So they were doing everything on the internet without shipping and handling because it was digital, so kind of like iTunes or an ebook in a sense, if I could relate it to anything. And because they're doing this so strategically, having time freedom and the mobility to live in different countries where they didn't even speak the language and build their business at the same time, I reached out to them on Facebook, started to model and copy them. And in like 90 days, I did like this straight focused push, working my butt off, for lack of better words. And I'm not guaranteeing you the same results. I'm not telling you that you're going to get rich quick if you start a business online. I'm not telling you any of that stuff. It does require work, just like any business out there, all right, on or off the internet. But the cool part was, without dealing with supplies, without dealing with equipment, without dealing with weather permitting, all right, I was able to create a full-time income business in 90 days, working very strategically. And I share that with you because if you want to start a business to be your own boss, if you want to start a business to create leverage, time freedom, flexibility to travel, retire, your spouse, retire your loved one, spend more time with your loved one, I would strongly suggest and throw your way, learn to build a business on the internet. And if this makes sense to you and you're serious, all right, about building a business to create an income, to quit corporate America, all right, to travel more, from a business perspective, if you do want to learn how to build a business online, make sure at the end of this video, if you're open-minded, you're willing to learn some things, all right, connect with me on my site. It's 123marketingtips.com. The link will be in the description. But aside from whether or not you connect with me, that's totally cool. I really hope this video is of value to you and it gives you an idea of how to build a business in a way that can get you the results that you want, some of the obstacles permitting. All right, one of the obstacles on the internet is if you don't have the right guidance and the right help, all right, regardless if you connect with me or not, it could be another person. If you're just the guinea pig and you're trying to figure things out yourself, the internet can be your worst enemy. Like, it can be tough. There's a lot of noise out there, a lot of businesses. And it wasn't until I connected with someone who was willing to connect with me online that I had a breakthrough. So that's my experience. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I'll see you at the top and see you with or without you on the beach of the world. Take care.